क्या आपको पता है कि जिस रॉयल एनफील्ड बाइक को खरीदने के लिए आज 4 महीने का वेटिंग पीरियड लगता है, वो कंपनी एक वक्त पर बैंकरप्ट होने के कागार पर थी। साउंड्स अनबिलीवेबल, राइट? इट्स ट्रू दैट बिफोर बिकमिंग इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट प्रॉफिटेबल ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी, your beloved Royal Enfield had to go through so much. But how did Royal Enfield become so successful that it sells more motorcycles in India alone than HARLEY DAVIDSON has sold worldwide? Let's learn in this video, and towards the end of this video, we'll share some awesome business takeaways inspired by the Royal brand. You can apply them to your business and watch it grow. So the story begins in England in 1891. When Albert Eddy and Robert Smith joined forces to start a needle manufacturing company called Eddy Manufacturing. और थोड़े ही टाइम के बाद इन्हें रॉयल आर्म्स फैक्ट्री से साइकिल्स बनाने का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिलता है. And when the cycles got ready, they were named Royal Enfield. But the party begins in 1901 when Royal Enfield made its first motorbike. Their motorcycles were renowned for their power and durability, to the extent that even soldiers started using them during World War. Finally, in 1932, Royal Enfield launched the beloved motorcycle that captured the hearts of almost every Indian, the Bullet. पर जैसे ही वर्ल्ड वॉर खत्म हुआ, इन बाइक्स की डिमांड श्रिंक होने लगी. And in 1949, K.R. Sundaram Iyer came to the rescue and established Madras Motors. His specialty was importing foreign motorcycles and selling them in India. 1952 में इंडियन आर्मी ने उन्हें 500 रॉयल एनफील्ड्स का ऑर्डर दिया, which was quite a challenging task for him due to the significant capital required and logistical barriers. But K.R. Sundaram was a man of his word. Despite these challenges, he successfully delivered the order. और यही से शुरू हुआ रॉयल एनफील्ड और इंडियन आर्मी का पॉपुलर कोलैबोरेशन, जो आज तक चला रहा है. After this, Enfield India was established when the UK-based Royal Enfield decided to collaborate with Madras Motors. Royal Enfield struggled to keep up with advancing technology and began incurring huge losses. Following this, another individual believed that he could turn the company's fortune around and decided to purchase it. That individual was none other than Vikram Lal, the CEO of Eicher Motors. However, I am certain that this decision might have been the worst one of his life because the company had become so devalued that no one was willing to buy it. 6 years after acquiring a company with an uncertain future, the board finally made plans to shut it down and dispose of it. But at the last moment, a young, passionate individual, only 26 years old, gathered the courage to take a significant leap and requested one final opportunity to revive the company single-handedly. He, none other than CEO's son, Siddhartha Lal. And I am sure कि इस वीडियो के एंड तक आप इनसे इतना इंस्पायर्ड हो जाओगे कि इनका नाम कभी नहीं भूलोगे. Everything was about to change for Eicher Motors, and nobody could have imagined in their wildest dreams that it would become a multi-baggage stock in the future. But how? How did he manage to do the unimaginable? Let's find out. The first step Siddharth took when taking the charge of company was to adopt the lifestyle of a buyer. It was based on a simple ideology that to fix a problem, you have to live with it. So he began living a biker's lifestyle and personally using the motorcycles. Not only that, he also ensured that all his company's employees commuted to office daily on Royal Enfield bikes. And during his bike trips to the mountains, he discovered actual shortcomings in the bikes that were previously unknown to the company. For instance, he realized that the bike's kick had such a strong bounce back that it could potentially rip your leg off. He also identified other mechanical issues such as problems with gear shifts being on the right side and the faults in manufacturing processes. उन्होंने इन सभी issues को address किया और customer complaints 5% से सीधा 0.2% पर आ गई. However, this was not sufficient. He had bigger aspirations of making the company globally competitive. So he went all in to change the brand perspective of Royal Enfield. Siddharth also observed that people often perceived that Royal Enfield bikes were just for tourism purposes rather than regular usage. These modern retro bikes also gave off a vibe associated with middle-aged or older individuals, making it difficult for younger people to relate to them. So how did he address this? It was simple. He infused emotion into his bikes. As we all know, emotions are often sold at a higher price than the product itself. To achieve this, he leveraged his relationship with the Indian Army and associated the strong and fierce image of the Indian Army with Royal Enfield bikes. Not only the army, but policemen also began using their classic bikes, turning it into a symbol of pride. The message spread as intended, and people started to connect the brand with their own self-esteem. This also began to attract younger men who started associating with a sense of masculinity. Furthermore, imagine a company that previously struggled to sell even 1/3 of its production capacity now sells almost 8 lakh bikes every year. This is just crazy. 2003 में Eicher Motors का शेयर सिर्फ 13 रुपीस पर ट्रेड कर रहा था, जो कि अब 3000 रुपीस से नीचे नहीं जाता है. During that period, the company introduced its brand new bike, the Thunderbird, which proved to be a game changer for Royal Enfield. The Thunderbird was primarily aimed at capturing the untapped youth market in India. In a boom, the Thunderbird stormed the market in 2006, selling 32,000 bikes in a single year. But Siddharth's hunger for success was not yet satisfied. He assumed the position of CEO and streamlined the businesses, reducing it from 15 different product lines to just 2: motorcycles and tractors. He recruited world-class motorcycle engineers, designers, manufacturers, and business professionals to collaborate with him in transforming the company into a global contender. Subsequently, the company began to soar, not only in India but also in countries like America, UK, and others. The company grew to such an extent that it surpassed the sales of the largest American player, HARLEY DAVIDSON, in American market itself in 2014. And during that year, the sales grew by 70% compared to the previous year. Moreover, their Interceptor 650 bike emerged as the most popular bike in the middleweight segment. It became the highest selling bike in Europe as well as in certain parts of America. And Bullet 350 के बारे में तो हम सभी जानते हैं. It has also been the longest running motorcycle model in continuous production. No wonder why the original Royal Enfield logo featured a cannon with a slogan, "Made like a gun, goes like a bullet." They're also doing continuous upgradation in the bike, and you'll be excited to know that they are set to launch the new version of Bullet, that is Bullet 350 Next Generation, this August. Isn't it just mind-blowing? It definitely is. But now comes the real question. What lessons can you learn from this case study and implement in your own business? First, a streamlined business model attracts greater focus and attention. इसका मतलब यही है कि 1000 चीजें एक साथ करने से अच्छा कम चीजों पर अपना फोकस रखो जिनका पोटेंशियल तुम्हें हाई लगे. This not only keeps your focus centralized but also enables better scalability. For instance, Eicher Motors closed 13 businesses and focused only on motorcycles and tractors. The rest, as they say, is history. Secondly, it's important not to sell a product if you don't believe in it. In other words, you shouldn't engage in selling a product that you wouldn't consume yourself. As seen in the above case study, Siddhartha was able to identify the precise issues with his product once he experienced it firsthand. Your product shouldn't simply be a means to earn money. It should be a solution to a consumer problem that you deeply care about. Third, never try to change the consumer. If you aspire to take your business to a global level, understanding this lesson is crucial. It means that you cannot and should not attempt to persuade people to buy your product by changing who they are. Instead, you should focus on changing their perception of how they view your product. As we witnessed in Siddharth's case, he was able to shift people's beliefs, resulting in increased sales and ultimately the tremendous success of his company. Finally, if you have nothing to lose, do not be afraid to take risks. अगर सिद्धार्थ ने कंपनी को डिसॉल्व होने के लिए छोड़ दिया होता, तो शायद आज हम रॉयल एनफील्ड के बारे में बात ही नहीं कर रहे होते. So, life and business are similar in the sense that you can achieve great success if you know how to take calculated risk at the right time. Also, let us know in the comment section if you have learned any other valuable lessons. In the meantime, please like, share and subscribe. Goodbye and see you soon.